So, very good afternoon to everyone. It's getting a bit cloudy. So, yeah, you may have guessed this is a German aircraft. Yeah, this is the Bf109 by FSAdni. It's the E variant, the E4, which was known as the Emil. You can see it's quite nicely done inside and outside. So a quick look. So this is the second version. It's had a couple of updates. One of the problems that seemed to come out of the original was that it was scaled incorrectly. So this has been rescaled, but as you can see it looks a bit small. I mean, if you compare that to that and this to this, it just doesn't look right. But just in case it's perspective, we'll go and have a look from the other side. Yeah, I mean, it still looks a little bit small, but we can get away with that easily. It's very nicely done. I mean, I love this. One of the problems I'm going to have is this is there, so people in Germany aren't allowed to see that. I don't think on France either, so it's a bit of a weird one. I did not know that. I didn't realise I had guns flying through the propeller. That's very World War I. I'm going to do another version. I'm going to reload this now, and we're going to go with the version that doesn't have the crosses on it, so that people in France and Germany can watch it. So I've switched now to the non NDS, whatever it is, swastika thingy-mabub. As you can see, I mean, it is only on the tail, and I would like to point out a couple of things as well. So it's not illegal to have this swastika in games in Germany or Austria or France. In fact, in Austria it's been permitted in video games for a very long time. In Germany I believe it was 1998 when it was allowed. It was first banned from Wolfenstein, then the verdict was overturned later on, and a new one went in through to say, yeah, they can be in video games because there's a rating system for 18 and above. But in both Austria and Germany you are allowed to have it for artistic purposes and for educational purposes. So, I mean, this is basically an educational video, but rather than stick it in there and have to argue about it, I just had it on the first couple of frames and now it's not there anymore. Which is a bit of a shame because it doesn't look right with these two things. Like, you've got a big one, why have another one? It's just pointless. Anyway. Yeah, don't include that one because that's looking at it from a different angle. So we're talking about scale, and it does look a little bit small still. I mean, I don't know how big the real thing is. Let's. I'll put the figures up and above there in the clouds in a minute. So yeah, it's just under 30 feet long, 29.5 feet, which would mean it should be roughly 5 of those people, if it's a 6-foot person, long. I don't think it is. That from there to there, it's like 1, 2, 3. Maybe it is about right, to be honest, so hopefully that should be fixed. So the landing clapper, that's a flap, and the fuel selector works. Oh, excellent. So the gauges are all looking pretty good. Ooh, jet aircraft. I'm not sure they had one of those in those days. Anyway, yeah, nice array of buttons and switches. Well, I don't know what are we doing? I wanted to turn... What? Yeah, we know you do that one, but what about this one here? Okay, that's a bit strange. So, I mean, these switches do something, but we don't know what they do because we don't know what they are. So, that's a bit of an issue. Similarly, I have no idea what that red thing is. And it appears as if the throttle isn't actually modelled compared to my throttle. Okay, well, that's a bit of an issue. It appears that the reason the throttle wasn't moving is the flight sim / game has decided to just totally ignore my throttle. Very disturbing. Let's try it then. I'm a bit worried now because I reckon if I unplug it and plug it back in, it'll just crash the game. Oh no, there we go. It's working now. It's good. So, do we check that throttle? There we go. That's much better. So let's power her up and see if we can get her flying. Okay, now I have no idea what those two things are, but it just reminded me of the Hurricane having them for some reason. So whatever they are, they appear to make the engine work.
Taxi to and hold short runway 25 using taxiway Mike Echo Slayer 10.
I guess that's the most realistic one, is look out the side, but the cockpit apparently flips up and down, so unfortunately it's not going to be very realistic. So this is as close as I could get to the original Messerschmitt factory, which is a little town of Augsburg in Bavaria, in Austria. And that's Hohenstetten was the suburb of Augsburg, and the factory was not that big to start with. It was mostly field, and I've got a couple of photos I'm going to put up in a little while. And the first one is going to be a photo taken before the major work. And the second one is after an American raid on the place. Well, they may have bombed it a little bit.
Augsburg Towers Layer 10 ready for departure runway 25 IFR to Lechfeld.
Slayer 10 QNH 29.85 wind 2.
Okay, so yeah, let's try and make a nice takeoff. So we're just going to fly over the old factory. Well, the old factory location. The factory's not there anymore. It's covered in a housing estate and some industrial building. So all these red top buildings, that's where the factory used to be. The factory was down to our left, but pretty much the fields on the other side over there, they're all pretty much the same as they were. But yeah, another lovely addition to the old FSAdni fleet. I'm going to give this one 9.5 out of 10. Why am I knocking a half a point off? Because those buttons need labelling, so those switches need labelling. I have no idea what they are. One of them could be a self-destruct for all I know. I mean, come on, what the heck? Oh, the snow suddenly vanished. What the heck? That's not. Oh God, I think we're out of fuel as well. So it appears that the centre tank doesn't work when it's on both. Okay. That's a bit weird.
Echo Delta November Sierra, traffic Slayer 107 miles east, 2,000 feet inbound to land, runway 26.
No idea why it does that. Okay, so we didn't die. That's amazing. Yeah, that's a beautiful little plane. Definitely 9.5 out of 10. I love it. It's great. One of the things that's amazing about this aircraft is the amount of innovation. And yeah, I mean, it had automatic leading edge slats for when you're at low speed. So as you come into land and you deploy the flaps, the ailerons also droop so that you get more flappage. But it also deploys automatic leading edge slats, which allows even more lift from the wings, which is just absolutely amazing. I'm guessing that's why it feels so floaty, but I don't know if they would have been applied on takeoff, but yeah, I'll have to check up on that as well. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10.